LinkedIn is a tool that can be used to bring visibility to yourself and your professional skills, market yourself as a viable candidate for employment opportunities, and most importantly, establish and grow your professional network. Like many other social networking sites, LinkedIn utilizes a friends/follower system to connect individuals, known on the platform as connections. However, unlike other sites, LinkedIn connections aren't inherently exclusive to those that you already know. Your connections can also include people in an industry that you'd like to connect with 1 to 2 degrees of separation. What separates LinkedIn's connection system from other sites is the ability to attach a message to your connection request. Messages can contain up to 300 characters and are a very effective way to increase the chances of your request being accepted by the recipient. Generally, you'll want to take a slightly different approach when crafting a connection request to someone you've met versus someone you haven't. Because the chances of having your request accepted by somebody you haven't met are generally lower, we'll cover this approach first. When composing a connection request to someone you have not met, you first want to consider your reason for making the request, and be sure you're sending a request to the appropriate individual. For example, if you're interested in marketing, it would make the most sense to connect with an individual who has studied marketing or works in the field. Begin your message by addressing the individual by their respective title. Dear Mr., Mrs., Doctor, and so on, followed by their last name. If you're unsure which title to use, you can simply use their full name. Avoid using to whom it may concern. Next, you'll want to introduce yourself by your title or career interests. You do not need to introduce yourself by your name, as it's already clearly shown on your profile and in your message closing, and stating a title or career aspiration is a great way to stand out. After this, you'll want to state how you found them, whether through mutual connections, a common LinkedIn group or institution, or through company research. Prior to closing, ask for their willingness to connect and state your reason. It's important to avoid being authoritative or asking for a job or interview. Lastly, end with a professional and friendly closing. Sincerely, best, thank you, and so on, followed by your name. Next, we'll cover addressing a connection request to somebody you have met. Depending on how well you know the individual or the dynamic of your relationship, the initial greeting can vary. For example, if the person is a superior, goes by a formal title, or you've only met them briefly, you'll want to address them how you would somebody you have not met. Dear Mr., Mrs., Doctor, or their first and last name. If they are a colleague or acquaintance, you can use dear, followed by their first name, or simply just their first name. If they are a friend or somebody that you know relatively well, you can follow the aforementioned approach, or include a hey or hi before their name. Next, you'll want to state how you know them or how you met. If they are an acquaintance or somebody you've only met briefly, be sure to remind them of who you are. Lastly, ask for their willingness to connect, and close in a similar manner as you would to somebody you have not met. Like any other social media site, it's important to use the practices and etiquette appropriate to that platform. By making a good impression via your connection request, you're much more likely to have your requests accepted and begin expanding your network. For more career assistance, tools, and resources, visit our website at easternct.edu/career.